The Avengers movies show us the literal origin and documentation stories of the fallen angels. This is Loki putting this doctor on top of this double-headed bull altar right here. And look what's right next to the doctor laying down. You see that guy right there? Here's a more up-close version of him. It's literally the Anunnaki right in front of our faces. Literally mirroring the same things like Enlil right here. And right here. Also known as Ahura Mazda, Asher, plenty of different names rebranded, all the way from Amun-Ra to Amun-Zeus. Just like the elite do to this day with corporations, and they will rebrand their corporations to cause confusion. So when someone goes on strike for, let's say, Walmart, they go to Target instead, not realizing they're still putting money into the same pockets of somebody. Or if a place changes their food brand's name to something else because the first one got blacklisted, so then they give it a different name, and people think they're getting a completely different source of something, and in reality, it's the same thing, just rebranded. It's the same thing they do with their mythologies. They just pass it down and rebrand it through a different name to cause confusion. That's why you'll see a lot of these same parallels with like Enlil and Zeus, who is, in my opinion, the image being shown right here in the Avengers movie. Enlil was viewed as the king and father of gods in early Mesopotamia. Zeus held the exact equivalent supreme kingship over the Greek pantheon. Both are masters of the atmospheric phenomena, specifically wind, weather, and devastating storms. Enlil's earthly residence and meeting place for the gods was the Eker, the mountain house in Nippur, which mirrors the celestial court, Mount Olympus, that Zeus held that same title in. Now, supposedly, they say that this was a picture of Ahura Mazda, also known as Asher. And Ahura Mazda is the supreme uncreated creator god in Zoroastrianism, whose name translates to the wise lord. Ahura Mazda is closest to the Mesopotamian god Asher, sharing a supreme national status and similar winged disc artistic imagery. Ahura Mazda and Asher both share connection to the bull imagery and winged disc iconography due to deep ancient cultural exchanges between ancient Persia and Mesopotamia. As we read before, Enlil and Zeus are both supreme ruling deities who command the sky, wind, storms in their respective mythologies, sharing striking structural parallels as patriarchal heads of the divine assembly. While Enlil is the ancient Mesopotamian lord of the air, reigning from the temple Eker, Zeus is the chief Olympian god of Greek tradition, ruling from Mount Olympus. Both ruled from mountain houses, as you can see at the bottom right here under me. In ancient mythology, Amun, later merged as Amun-Ra, is considered the direct Egyptian equivalent and most like Zeus, serving as the supreme king of the gods. He held the highest rank in the pantheon, much like the Greek ruler of Mount Olympus, Zeus, associated with supreme political power, cosmic creation, and protection of the pharaohs. There's even a hotel that's called Amun-Zeus because the two merged in mythology. The hotel sits atop a historic site that originally featured a sanctuary dedicated to the god Dionysus in the 8th century BC. Later in the 5th century BC, a temple dedicated to Amun-Zeus, you see how that's the same god rebranded over and over, was constructed on the plateau. This deity represents a syncretic fusion of the Egyptian creator god Amun and the Greek king of the gods Zeus, a mythological merging heavily popularized during the time of Alexander the Great. That is when Alexander the Great and the Greeks were merging a lot with the Egyptians, and their mythology merged a lot because it's the same god rebranded over and over, which is exactly why they blend Loki with something that had nothing to do with Loki's mythology, unless it really does, but it's that rebranding over and over again. Again, right here in your face, right there in our face, right there in our face, literally. Right there in our face, right there in our face. You see what I'm saying? All of this is glorifying these superheroes who are really fallen angels, while also telling us plans they have for the future with a lot of the stuff that they do in these movies, in these books, in these comics. A lot of these books, comics, and all that have to do with automatic writing, which is when a spirit inhabitates a body and takes control and writes the story for them. At least that's what they say. But I personally think a lot of it has to do with bloodline lineages and these people knowing where they came from, knowing their history, whether they're the fallen angels or they're the demigods, which are the half human, half fallen angel bloodline, doesn't matter to me. One way or another, they know exactly their storylines and the real history, while giving us fake history and showing the real history through these movies and shows. Right here, Asher and Enlil sync together through a process of theological syncretism, where the Assyrian scribes and kings equated the local god Asher with the older Sumerian and Babylonian king of the gods Enlil. This gave the northern Assyrian deity the cosmic executive power and traditional family traits of the southern. This is the same exact rebranding. They're just rebranding the same god. They're just synchronizing it because it's the same god. Just like the Greeks did with the Egyptians, with Zeus and Amun-Ra. They don't care to give it a new name. It's the same God they're serving. It just causes confusion amongst the people and thinking it's a different God. So when people will go like, oh, don't judge these other religions. How can you judge these other religions? Most of these religions, all of them, have the same God that they're following. Have the same, not just God, gods, because the fallen angels, it was 1/3 of the stars, that's a lot of stars, that rebelled with Satan. So they purposely are causing confusion through all these religions that aren't going to bring you anything. The only one that is true is the Bible, which documents these fallen angels, gives the names of plenty of these fallen angels, from Asherah to Marduk to Baal to Bel to Moloch to the Queen of Heaven, which is known as Inanna, Ishtar, Astarte, Asherah, Isis, Aphrodite, and possibly Hera. They give you these indicators to show you that these are the fallen angels who are going against God and wanting worship. Just like Lucifer does in Isaiah 14, where he says that he wants to sit at the throne of the Most High and to be the Most High and to sit above all the stars in the congregation. He wants the worship. These fallen angels are rebelling with him. They want worship from us, but they all serve him. Nothing different. And so all these movies, ironically, the Avengers movies, the Marvel and the DC, are mostly written by the small hats, the juice boxes. It's because they're showing you the origin stories of their gods or of their fathers and mothers, because that is Satan's synagogue, Revelation 2 verse 9, Revelation 3 verse 9. And so of course they're going to be the ones creating the Marvel and the DC and these characters that people idolize and want to be like so badly.